My name's Warwick Brown. I'm the Sales Director within Teradata. I think anybody that's interested in exploiting the data and information that lies within their company should be attending these events. They need to learn that there's so much more they can do than the reporting and analytics that they are doing today, and that they shouldn't be constrained by what they already know. I think they can learn from others' mistakes, they can learn from others' successes, and they can learn some different ways of attacking a business problem. I think the highlights were Stephen Brobst's thought-provoking analogies around customers taking control of how they deal with companies versus companies' reluctance to give up that control, and how the two can be leveraged. I think also Venu sharing with the ability to move quickly, yet still keep his eye on the fact that a business benefit had to be achieved within a fast time frame, and the change management he had to bring along with that. I think most of the customers that I spoke to, they felt that they were where most of these speakers were 12 months ago. That's where they are now. They're grappling with the types of issues that SuperValu overcame in the last 12 months, but they're not sure that they're 12 months away from achieving it, and they felt that today's session really gave them the opportunity to go back and start asking the hard questions of themselves and their organisations.
I'm Monica Warmer. I'm an industry consultant for the public sector. Obviously, any customers or prospects, as well as internal associates, I think would both benefit from the presentations that are, on offer at these types of events. I think one of the greatest benefits is to learn to step outside of somebody's industry. If they're a retailer, if they're in travel and transportation or government, you learn different perspectives, and there's always things you can bring back and you can adapt. But learning how other people think about it offers you new insights, a way to address your own problems that you're facing. I think a key highlight for me is to enable discovery. Regardless of the type of data you're dealing with, is to let the organization learn and discover. Use it in an R&D type of approach instead of manufacturing of data, to learn and to fail forward fast. So to be creative and innovative in what you can do with your data. I think it's been very positive. The breadth of presentations, although there wasn't a big number of them, the breadth of the content and the speakers and the different varieties of organizations they came from were very effective to hear those different perspectives, and I think the customers got a lot out of it.
My name is Alec Gardner. I'm the Industry Consulting Director for Teradata Australia and New Zealand. This event appeals to anyone that's interested in understanding how analytics and big data can be used to improve business performance, improve customer engagement. Anyone that's interested from a business presentation point of view, or even from an IT point of view. You learn from the leaders. We pride ourselves on having a great network of peer-to-peer relationships between our customers. We bring customers over that have had the experience, that have been there, have done it, had both the success and the failures, and they're willing and able to share those with organizations here. I really like to hear about the change that happened at the major retailer in the US. The presentation there about the use of analytics to change a culture, so where people were accepting of failure in terms of trying to analyze something, trying to make a change, realizing that wasn't going to have an impact, but then that being okay, and you continue to do something else, and eventually you find success. That's the very nature of analytics and analytic discovery and analytic insight. The ability to change the culture to do that, I think, is paramount to let the organization change. I think it's been really positive. A lot of people have said to me that they really enjoyed the vision setting of Stephen Brobst's presentation. Stephen's always a great leader in data warehousing and analytics. He has his finger on the pulse of every new piece of technology and some of the best practices. And then they hear from a customer that's been there and done that. So they learn from that, and they know that they're able to engage and meet these customers one-on-one if that's something they want to follow up on.
My name is Andrew Blamey and I'm the Vice President for Teradata in Australia and New Zealand. I think that anyone who's trying to understand how they grapple with data, turn data into information, into insight, and take action on the insight to drive value, anyone in that space at all will benefit from this type of event. I think that people from this type of event gives them a greater awareness. Hearing from people that have already achieved some things, had some success, had some failures, just as importantly. Learning from thought leaders like Stephen Brobst, who are talking about the trends and where things are going. So it gives people, if you like, a context for what they're doing, understand where they're at and give them some clues to where they're going on their journey. Actually, today's event had a lot of highlights for me. I thought that Stephen Brobst is the first speaker. We have the benefit of Stephen visiting Australia a couple of times a year, and I think that was a very different presentation and discussion that Stephen gave us today. Incredibly enlightening, so that was a highlight. Listening to Venu, who's been there and done it at SuperValue and actually executed on this whole big data concept. There's a lot of people talking about it, but not many people got a track record of having done it. And then the perspective of the Australian Bureau of Statistics, so close to home and so much part of what we do. I thought hearing from Jonathan Palmer about how ABS are thinking about data going forward, I thought was incredibly interesting and relevant to us. I think based on my quick straw poll of people in the morning tea and afterwards, I think that everyone's come out excited, all enriched. You just hear the bubble and the noise of people have come out of the session, so you realise people have been energised by it. So I think the reaction overall is very positive, and I think that they saw that on the most part, the things that the speakers had to present, the messaging and stuff, were very, very relevant to them both personally and professionally.